It may be nice out today, but I'm tracking another coastal storm that could bring heavy rain and flooding to the Northeast later this week. What's going on? Let's break it down. Hi, guys. I'm John with the New York Metro Weather. Today is Wednesday, September 27th. Visible satellite imagery this afternoon shows us a beautiful day across a large majority of the Northeast states and even down into parts of the mid-Atlantic. And we have high pressure to thank. It's brought dry air down and pushed the remnants of our coastal system away for now. And it's really brought pleasant conditions into a lot of the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic for the first time in several days. So it's been great, but the bad news is that it's not going to last very long. In fact, by Thursday night into Friday, we're looking at our next system that's going to deliver the potential for very heavy rain and localized flooding. We're just working on pinning down exactly where that's going to be. So what's causing this system in the first place? Well, in our last video, we talked about something called high latitude blocking. So what we're looking at here is the heights in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. So this is 10,000 feet above our head. And I want to just focus on the colors here and not get into too much of the technical details. The reds, the bright reds and pink area is showing you well above normal heights, so this is a ridge, and the blues are showing you a trough. Pay attention to this ridge in particular here, because what it acts as is almost a stop sign. It stops traffic from heading up to the north, so these disturbances coming through here can't just track to the north. So you see this system really slows things down, and our storm that ends up coming through the Ohio Valley on Thursday into Friday slows down so much that it picks up a lot more moisture and it organizes itself a lot more. These blocks, these big areas of red that you see on the screen, are notorious for causing storms to organize more than they normally would. Typically, they just slide right through here to be a cold front, no big deal. But here we have this block, and the time that it slows this system down allows this storm for Thursday to Friday to really get its act together. Look here at vorticity. This is just spin in the atmosphere. I know there's a lot of colors and stuff here, but here's our system coming from the Ohio Valley here. You can see it, the vorticity entering Pennsylvania Thursday evening. But look at how it organizes itself as we move into Friday. It really spins up into an organized unit on Friday, and it starts tugging in a lot of moisture from the Atlantic and from the tropics, and this system really does get itself together from late Thursday night into Friday, all because that block slows it down and gives it the time to do that. So what are we looking at in terms of moisture? Here comes Thursday night. Here comes the moisture surge we talked about, right? Initially, we start with this brown is showing you below normal moisture content. So that's what's kept our weather really nice today, Wednesday, and into Thursday. But as we move into Thursday afternoon and evening, here comes our surge of moisture, folks. Look at this. Well above normal moisture surging into the Northeast. And with this system organizing, tapping into that moisture from Thursday into Friday, the potential is going to exist for locally very heavy rain and flooding. What will this system potentially look like? So let's break down the timing. We're going to use the latest NAM model, and I want to just use a disclaimer here. The possibility exists that this is going to change as we move closer. In fact, it's very likely to change. We're just using this as an example of one way that this could go. But this is valid Thursday at 2 o'clock, and really not all that much going on, but it is getting more unsettled as we move into Thursday afternoon and evening. The humidity is increasing. The clouds are increasing across the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Now, as we move to Thursday night, here comes our rain coming in, and if we advance this into Friday morning, now this is valid 4 a.m. on Friday, very heavy rain over parts of the mid-Atlantic, eastern PA, New Jersey, New York, and Long Island. And then as we move into Friday midday, just torrential downpours across this region from eastern PA into most of New Jersey, Long Island, even Connecticut, and southeast New York as well, continuing into Friday afternoon and even Friday evening. Let's zoom in, though, and take an even closer look at this, and we'll get a better look at how this system might evolve. So here we are. This is valid Friday morning. Here's Friday late morning, and here's Friday afternoon. And just look at the potential for very heavy rain. We talked about the system here getting organized. Localized flooding will be possible if this scenario does unfold, because this is a lot of rain in a really short period of time. So I talk about the use of ensembles a lot of times when we look at these more complex systems, because if you have one weather model, that's one thing, right? They vary. They change. If you have a weather model that's running 50 or 100 different members underneath it, you can look at all the different envelope of possible solutions, and you can take the average. And that's what we're doing here. We're taking the mean and average of those 50 to 100 members. Here's the precipitation forecast here on the European ensemble in terms of total rainfall as we go through Friday. And this is a huge signal. For the middle ground of the ensembles to be over 2 inches, over 3 inches in parts of the New Jersey shore, and over 2 inches in parts of New York, that's a very, very strong signal. We can also utilize the probabilities here on these ensembles. What you're looking at here, this is the probability of over 2 inches of rain if you take the mean of those 50 to 100 members, and it's approaching 50% in parts of the New York City metro. So that's the model saying, hey, there's a 50% chance that New York City will see over 2 inches of rain with this system. But if we look at some of the higher resolution models, you start to pick up on the possibility that those totals could be even higher. Here's the NAM model with 2 to 4 and locally higher, 4, 5, 6 inches of rain in some areas through Friday. The possibility with this system exists for some really heavy rain and flooding in parts of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, even into southeast New York and Connecticut. Now, the one thing we need to talk about here is that this is going to be a tough forecast all the way into Thursday because the models are going to struggle with where this rain is going to focus. But where that band of heavy rain does set up, that's where the heaviest flooding potential is going to exist. Right now, the NAM model says that heaviest band is over eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, the New York City metro, southeast New York, and Connecticut. The European model would seem to agree. But we need to continue to track these models over the next 12 hours as we get closer to this event to see exactly where that rain is going to set up. If you do live in this area, again, no reason to panic right now, but we're looking at an increased likelihood of very heavy rain from late Thursday night into Friday and the possibility of flooding from that rainfall. If you do live in a flood-prone area, now's a great time to review your flood plan. Make sure you have a plan in place in terms of, if those waters do rise and you do have localized flooding or flash flooding. And if you're going to be commuting on Friday, you're going to want to start to, look at alternate travel plans, possibility to check in with your carrier if you're flying, and if you're driving, reminder to never, ever, ever drive through flood waters. Ever. Taking this through the timing one more time, I know there'll be plenty of questions about that. This currently looks like it starts late Thursday night, continues into Friday, heaviest late Friday morning, and then it moves out off to the north and east very gradually as we get into Saturday. The second half of the weekend looks a lot better. Saturday and Sunday, the system will be out of here. It's really a Thursday night into Friday thing right now, and over the next 12 hours, we're going to have to pin down exactly where this heaviest rain is going to be. Right now, it looks like it's somewhere from eastern PA through New York City into southern New England and Long Island, but we're going to track it over the next 24 hours. Stay tuned to the forecast in this area. Prepare for some disruptions here from Thursday night into Friday, potential for flooding, and stick with us. We're going to have updates as we go through the next 12 hours. Next update scheduled for Thursday morning. We'll provide the latest updates on the weather models. Until then, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. Thanks for watching, guys.